friends, Romans, countrymen. It has been a time since we have met in the past. It is the summer, so we're not playing as often. Actually, don't think we're gonna play for like another month, maybe after this. So no, so last time you guys did the thing. You won. You completed the campaign, basically. Yeah, a little round of applause.
We did it.
We did it. No, you have effectively freed Kintargo from the grasp of Barzillai. You stopped him and his worshippers of Asmodeus from completing the Mephistophelan manifestation, which would have like conjured part of hell and had it like overlay with Kintargo and would have like done terrible things. You stopped that ritual. You defeated those people. You went into the temple of Asmodeus. You cleansed the bells that Tommy has been haunted by, his adult life. You cleansed those bells and they pealed out a pure song of silver. He said the name of the thing in the thing. It played the Song of Silver across Kintargo to kind of protect it from devils and inspire the people. You healed up your wounds. Tommy has some lingering effects of combat. Let that be a poignant moment here as we think about the harrowing effects of adventuring on our adventurers. As now you see visions of hell periodically. That's super normal. I'm sure it won't have any lasting consequences. You had kind of a coronation for the new Lord Mayor, Gilia Benalis, as kind of the town just universally lauded her, and she was appointed to this position. There wasn't really an election. They were just like, her. She's the mayor again.
She was the mayor. She could be the mayor again.
Right. So she, had a big ceremony. It was very beautiful. You were honored as guests. There were like statues of you along the long bridge that separates northern and southern Kintargo. There's now statues of the 4 Ardent Crows, the heroes. And then there's like a 5th statue of Yuri. His spirit emboldened them to continue their quest. And as you were enjoying the festivities and kind of just relaxing and sitting upon your well-earned laurels. Of course, the adventure isn't over. Somehow, like, the very essence of Barzillai seems to have, like, suffused the climate around you, and, like, the sky and the clouds darkened, and, acid rain started pouring, and, little minor imps and fiendish creatures started appearing and, like, causing mischief or, like, attacking people. You guys, of course, in block text quickly, defeated all of those threats, but it seems to have been a sign of things to come. This would be, like, the end of a movie series, and then, like, 5 years pass and another movie comes out, so all the characters have, like, aged a little bit. So it's been, like, a few days, and maybe this is like the first time you've actually gotten to relax, is you've just been running around, like, putting out literal fires wherever you find them, as like 1,000 imps or something just kind of appeared that day. And you finally, like, quelled them and fettered them out and killed them off or sent them away and stopped their mischief and malevolence, and maybe only like a handful of townspeople, like some elderly or very young, were actually killed by the imps. But yeah, now that you like have a minute to breathe, Rexus will reach out and, be like, well, heroes, what's next? What's happened?
We have to beat up the storm cloud now. I thought he was dead.
Yeah, you've like gone through and sold all your stuff, maybe, the haze of combat and everything, you were just tired. So like you just gave it all to Sezzix, and Sezzix went off to some vendor to sell it. And he comes back with a bunch of coin and like whatever items you sent him to buy for your characters. And he also has this giant D12, this giant metal D12. And you remember that this came off of Barzillai when you killed him, and just kind of like popped out like Borderlands loot. Like it was hanging out on his person. It seemed very plot relevant. So that's still in your party loot. It's covered in these weird infernal runes that seem to shimmer and glow. And, Sezzix, being a curious rat, has probably, poked and prodded it a couple of times.
Well, I'll roll it.
Oh, yeah, you, roll it on the ground. It rolls all right. It seems pretty well balanced. It's kind of heavy. It's, maybe 2 pounds or something. But as you're, maybe, running your hand across it, you notice that the runes will light up. You'll be like, oh, I've lit up the 1 side. I'm going to go touch, the 3 side now. And it will burn your hand and will stop glowing. And you're like, oh, this is a 12-digit combination lock.
I'll just start trying shit.
Sure. There's 6 million possibilities.
I'm too lazy to do the math. It's a lot, yeah.
Yeah. Mechanically, you can disable this with a disable device check, or you can try to brute force it with an intelligence check. A 31, you are pretty good at disabling things, and you just kind of maybe this is the check as you were walking back. Just kind of casually fucking around with it. I got a 7 on the die roll, whatever. I'm half paying attention. I'm waving at the pretty ladies as I walk down the street, with my rat swagger. I'm a hero. You try to fiddle your way inside this thing, and with a 31, you are not successful. Make a reflex save that I don't think you can fail. Or hold on to it, your choice. It begins getting red hot. Would you like to drop it or let go?
I'll drop it or let go.
Or sorry, drop it or hold on to it.
I'll drop it and take a step back.
Yeah, you take a step back. Maybe you dropped it in some grass as you were walking across a field there in the more artsy fartsy district. You drop it there in this nice field of grass, and it sets the grass ablaze in 1 square, and then it stops burning and just kind of smolders and goes out. You think you would have taken a whopping 2 points of fire damage.
Oh no.
But yeah, I'll say you're a third of the way to your friends.
I'll try to pick it up out of the fire.
Oh, you pick it up. It's no longer hot. Feels fine. It's no longer glowing. You want to? You can make another check if you want.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you mess around with it again. You mess around with it for about a minute. Again, it starts burning. Do you want to let go of it or hold on to it?
I'll let go of it again.
Okay. Yeah, again, you drop it. You drop it to the ground. You have evasion, right?
Yes.
Yeah, you drop it to the ground. You take no damage. It burns a little larger area. You think this time it would have done 4 points of fire damage.
I'm smart enough to know to wait. 3 strikes and you're out, scare Sezzix. I'll bring it to Caerrat and show him first.
Sure. You bring it back. Throw it back in your pocket or whatever. You wave at some more people. You head over to the Lucky Bones. Is your organization? Is it? People have probably been leaving or whatever. Is it still a secret hideout, guys, or is this just a place now?
I don't really feel like it was ever really a secret hideout. I just felt like it was a place where we hid out.
Sure. So maybe you see Rexus is outside. He's taken, some people have helped him move one of the tables from down inside the Lucky Bones, outside into the sun. And he's there and he's got a map fanned out. And maybe he's chatting with Jillian, some of her advisors. What are the other 3 of you up to? It's a nice day, Yeah, finally the imps are gone. It's a clear sky, you can finally rest.
I set up a hammock and I just sit there for 4 hours.
Yeah, your companions are sitting in a hammock. Buddy, Tommy?
I imagine, since we're out kind of on the street, that probably a couple kids would come and want to hang out, and so we'd be kicking a soccer ball around.
Yeah. Buddy's out there, hanging out with the local kids. This district wasn't necessarily the nicest, but you're trying to revitalize it a little bit. Maybe some gold pieces from the Rebellion Fund have found their way into some upstart businesses, around the area. Yeah.
We're starting a little league and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, Jill has probably, had some conversation of I really appreciate all that you've done, and I know that you'll be staunch allies of the of Kintargo moving forward. I hope that you'll all remain, and I'd love it if any of you wish to join, the advisory council and my cabinet that I'm in the process of setting up. But I think that the downfall of Barzillai, aside from being an evil prick, was that he kind of kept everything hidden from everyone. There was this distrust between the leadership and the people. I want transparency, total transparency. No more hiding, no more rebellion actions. None of that.
Oh, you mean I can't send my Tengu assassins into random buildings anymore? Come on.
We probably shouldn't do that anymore.
Come on, but they're so good.
And they're, remember, not everyone supported the rebellion. There may still be Thrun and Chelish supporters or loyalists out there, and it's our mission to change their hearts and minds. That's the next thing. That's my new campaign slogan. So you come up to this scene. There's like a little political powwow. Maybe there's like Sergio Ayrton and the other guy who owned the printing press are there, and they're like interviewing her for their newspaper, and they're gonna like print out. So she's like giving some like stump speech about like how she's gonna make Kintargo great again, and they're jotting it all down. And yeah, you show up, Sezzix.
I'll find Caerrat and say like, hey, this thing got really hot when I tried messing with it, so I tried messing with it again and it got even hotter. But I stopped.
Do you want to keep
mess with it again? But should I do anything first?
I'll resist energy fire on him. Take like 5 feet, step away.
Yeah.
Hey man, it's all you. I believe in you.
Tommy, you hear the sound of Caerrat casting a spell. Maybe you were like downstairs getting a drink or helping move some furniture, boxing some weapons up that probably don't need to be here anymore. Like, the 500 crossbows you had for your rebellion. You're like, okay, we should probably like transfer these over to like the city government and the guard stations again.
I did forget about the plan where we just straight up attacked Barzillai. That was a good plan.
Yeah, you were successful. But now you probably want all your guards to have, weapons and stuff again.
Instead of the guards to not have weapons.
Yeah, I'll Tommy, if you'd like to, you can certainly participate. You can hop into the scene however you'd like.
I would think that Tommy's out there trying to find a farm right now to own.
Okay.
Local real estate.
Yeah,
Tommy wants to retire.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's definitely parcels of land. How much are you looking to spend?
Well, I'm looking to spend probably 1,000 gold pieces on both the workers and the farm. I'm not going to do any of the work myself.
Jesus Christ.
Do you want any buildings on your farm? Do you just want like some parcels of land, or do you want parcels of land with structures?
I would like a mansion for all the workers to live in.
1,000 gold pieces is not going to get you there.
Okay,
So about like 1,000 gold pieces will get you your standard like small mom and pop business. So I would say a farm of that would probably be like closer to like starting rent around 5,000.
Okay, yeah, I'll buy that.
Kind of like a larger thing. Yeah, so you found a place outside of town. It's really nice. You have to sign some paperwork, and God, it's dry. And there's a lot of confusing words in there. And probably the person you're dealing with, the broker, is like, you can have a representative if you want. If you know anyone that likes writing and reading and all these legal terms, you can certainly have them review this. And you check your mental Rolodex, and you're like, oh yeah, that Rexus guy, he's into books and shit.
And he like owes us for raising him from the dead.
Yeah.
After we killed him by making him do work.
Yeah, so for sake of putting the band back together, maybe it's been a couple of days since you guys have seen Tommy. Although I imagine Caerrat sees him more frequently. Tommy shows up. Are you still wearing like all your armor and shit?
Yeah, of course. I'm a fighter. It's part of my religion.
Yeah, you like saunter back into town. People will like come up and like shake your hand as you like walk into town. They're like, He's the Reaper of Kintargo. Oh, he's back. Some kids will come and be like, Tommy, how many devils did you kill this week? You just been like butchering dozens and dozens of imps. Maybe have like a collection of ears.
No collection of ears. I'll tell them that I've been building a farm.
Ah.
Just disappoint everyone.
Yeah, the kids will be disappointed, but like the old timers will understand, you know. The ones who were on the city guard and like put in their time, maybe like 5 of them got together and like threw a sack over an imp that they saw and then like clubbed it to death over 5 minutes because it has DR and regeneration. And like they just couldn't get through it, you know? But yeah, so like for the sake of brevity, you guys all come together as Sezzix would like to attempt to open this again. Is that correct?
Correct.
Perfect. How convenient for the plot. This time you really kind of examine it like a Rubik's Cube and you see the patterns. And you notice that every time you've like failed that like these things have started to move, but like you know what the first one is and like you know what the second one is, and you kind of one by one just do in a continuous thing, go over the whole whatever dodecahedron, whatever a 12-sided object is. You go over the whole 12-sided object without taking your hand off, not repeating a space. And that pattern that you do seems to be the correct one. And as you do this, the object in your hand begins expanding rapidly. How tall are you?
Like 2-3 feet?
Yeah, so as you're holding it, this thing becomes basically as big as you, and I imagine you have to like set it down. So you kind of like you see him messing with this Rubik's Cube like thing. It unfurls into his hands, kind of becomes bigger and bigger and bigger, just turning into a flat sheet as it just goes like choo, 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 choo. And then you just kind of plop it on the ground, and it has stuff in it. It's almost like a table with no legs. It's like another bag of holding type thing. It just had stuff in it. And as it sets down on the ground, you see the things that were inside it. You think that this, for what it's worth, could hold about 200 pounds of objects.
Damn.
But yes, inside there, you find 2 things. The first is a mithril scroll tube. The second is a strange talisman. A sickly yellow talisman made out of some unknown greasy stone, carved into the shape of an amphibiastic worm coiled around itself in a knot. So basically like a tadpole that's kind of like coiled around itself, carved out of like some yellow greasy soapstone on an amulet. And then this scroll tube. Those are the 2 things in there.
I'll pick up the scroll tube, say this looks like some nerd shit, and pass it to Caerrat.
Sure, it's certainly some nerd shit. Yeah. The talisman.
Knowledge Arcana or Knowledge Religion, maybe?
Yeah. You can use your 10,000 gold piece magic item on anything you want, Tommy.
Okay. Plus
knowledge. You would need a spellcraft check. This is certainly a magical talisman. But you know that it's like radiating magic, but you don't know like what this is. You can make a knowledge planes check if you'd like. Okay. So you kind of glance over this. You're not really getting anywhere with this rock. You could probably look at it some more, but I don't know. It's like an interesting soapstone, weird carved object that radiates like conjuration magic.
Okay.
And then yeah, you got this silver.
It doesn't feel like an artifact or anything.
What do artifacts feel like?
It doesn't feel like it's 10 levels higher.
It's not overwhelming magic. Okay, no, you're like level 13.
Sounds good.
Yeah, this is like Bush League magic. No,
okay,
it's like around your level magic.
It's good magic. It's good magic, but not good magic.
Yeah.
Hey, says you want to check that scroll tube for poisons on it before I get all touchy.
He already tossed it to you. Did you catch it?
Good talk.
As is like the reflexive
I
thing.
catch it and then I fall over and die from the contact poison.
No, it's just a scroll.
We'll take a look.
Sure. Make a perception check. This scroll tube is etched with patterns of coiled serpents. You know that these sort of things are very artsy-fartsy. But as you examine it, you're like, wow, there's no way to open this. And as you continue looking at it with a 31, you know that there's a sliding slat on one end that when pushed towards the other end of the tube will cause the tip to pop open.
Ooh, trick open.
So you kind of have to And as you do this, you see that there are 3 pieces of parchment.
Ooh.
2 of which are very, very, very lengthy documents like
I
that.
expect nothing else.
And one of which is a very short note written in Infernal.
Oh, I can read Infernal.
I think most of you can. This is what it says. Paracount Barzillai Thrun, your visit to my offices was most educational and informative. Even though you are not my client in the traditional sense, I consider myself to be a zealous advocate of our mutual interests in Ravenel. Should you require additional consultation on the Kintargo Contract, I would be delighted to clear my schedule. For your convenience, please find enclosed a small magical trinket. Use it to call the Hellmouth GINGOROX to expedite transport effectively to my offices. My staff are instructed to interrupt me if necessary, and I will be with you shortly. Of course, my staff are also tasked with protecting my holdings. Should you need to return to my offices to speak with me again via GINGOROX or any other method, use the word I gave you to unmask the copy of the Kintargo Contract that I supplied you. My staff well recognize it as my guarantee of your safe passage. I shall not repeat that word here. If perchance you have forgotten, you will need to fight or bluff your way through my guardians, I fear. In such an event, I shall not hold damages done to my staff against you. Minions are a simple matter to replace after all. Regards, Odexi, Vice-Barrister of Terrestrial Prospects, Fallen Fastness of Diz. With your token knowledge planes check, you know that Dis is a layer in hell.
So this guy, he has this, I think this amulet is a way to teleport to Diz and then go meet with this guy who he's been, making or consulting on the Kintargo Contract.
Yes. Speaking of the Kintargo Contract, that's one of the other 2 things. This is as you glance over it, that's the image I linked. This is a complex document of densely worded clauses exclusively in Infernal, written on tightly rolled, 5-foot-long fine parchment. This is super dense, and it mentions Kintargo a lot. The other one is another one written in Infernal. I don't have a picture for it. But this one does not mention Kintargo. This one instead mentions mentions some sort of relationship between someone, aka an NPC, and another party. In this term, the party being Mephistopheles. This seems to be some sort of contract between Mephistopheles and Barzillai, and you're unsure what it details, as it is very wordy and complicated. Mechanically, investigating these contracts, if you so choose, is a mini-system. Basically, they have an amount of hit points that are dealt damage by your skill checks.
Oh my god, is this the
over the
library?
Over the course of days instead of rounds.
Is this a library?
Yeah, it's kind of like a library thing.
Oh my god, I just had to read about that for our game. It was so fucking long.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so happy we're all int-based characters.
But yeah, you can certainly use, Rexus or whatever to look over these. And for what it's worth, they are super duper complicated, and it would probably take you some time to figure them out. You do have this little stone that I guess teleports you to someone who is advising Barzillai on what the contract did, because Barzillai needed help understanding it. So you could probably just not do any of these skill checks and just go there.
Just teleport there, try and lie our way in, and then just talk to him.
Or try to figure out whatever the passphrase is. As there he did seem to mention some sort of passphrase.
No hints, though. I shall not repeat that word here. What do I know about this Odexidai guy?
You may knowledge explains check. If you would like to, go use the books in the
in the
you get a plus
Liberty.
10 on these. On
I'll
all
take
these checks.
25.
Yeah, so you guys do like a little field trip back to the scene of your greatest victory. You've got these scrolls, maybe like you're super enthusiastic to figure this stuff out. Sezzix is like, oh, this box is cool, and he keeps like opening and closing it and messing around with it. Buddy, maybe you and Tommy, you guys, grab some sandwiches and do like a picnic day, and you guys just head up there and hang out in the library like old times, while the nerd reads through some stuff.
Guys, it's been a week since I got to cast buff spells on you. I'm so excited.
Yeah, do you even
cute.
prep them every morning? Like, you just like, it's a lot of work to, prep my spells every day. I just stopped doing it. I'm retired, man.
That's an extra hour I get in my life.
Have you just been prepping like a bunch of like mending and repairing spells for like fixing the damaged city?
Yeah, just like a bunch of like mass bull strength where we have to like pick up big stuff and shit.
Communal ant hall.
Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah, just helping out the locals. So yeah, you head up there. With a 25, you know that the Fallen Fastness is a vast library, said to be the greatest in all of hell, where the SIDS of all mortals are cataloged and untold armies of scholarly devils toil. Furthermore, you have heard of Oxidai, a contract devil, who has served in the Fallen Fastness as a Vice-Barrister, specializing in the acquisition, processing, and disbursement of matters associated with the infernal ownership, governance, and colonization of realms on the material plane. Basically, a specialist in what House Thrune did to found Cheliax as like its infernal nation. And with your 25, what has happened on Galaran is not unique. There are many worlds, many places across the multiverse where Oxidai and others like him out of the Fallen Fastness have worked their contractual magic and, ensured the rise of certain rulers of far-off places on other worlds and led to the creation of full-on, devil empires on the material plane across the multiverse.
Okay. So going literally to hell to talk shop with the devils. Man, we really are just spiraling upwards. I'm interested that he specifically said, I shall not repeat that word here. I have a couple scrolls of binding. If he's only a contract devil, I might be able just to summon him here and ask him what that word is as like a deal. And that'd be kind of funny. It'd also piss him off. But I mean, who cares? If he's not that strong, I might be able to just ask a favor. Or I could just grab one of his guardians.
You're unable to find mention of GINGOROX, though.
That is a cool name.
It was mentioned twice.
What is a hellmouth, though?
You were unable to find any mention of what a hellmouth is either.
Oh my.
Would you like to spend some more time? You spend probably half a day in here. You can make another check as you continue to do further research. What the rest of you like to do as your nerd friend is nerding out?
Sezzix thinks he's all that. He thinks he's real smart. He'll fail some token knowledge check.
Yeah, I mean, with the assistance of the library, you find a book that mentions GINGOROX. I mean, all Garm is doing is looking over these books. and trying to make sense of them. And like you're perceptive enough and lucky enough that you're able to like find a book that has that word on it, and you're like, is this what you're looking for? And it is.
Oh, you are my favorite little fella.
The name GINGOROX is that of a Hellmouth, a massive worm-like being whose body connects the hellish realms of Diz and Cana, and who may be called upon to open gateways in other realms to provide a route to either location. Putting it together, you believe that this talisman is a magical item capable upon calling the Hellmouth, to which it is linked, to provide transport to Hell from any location in the Great Beyond. Although a living creature, Hellmouths lack a way of interacting with reality other than providing a means of travel. Basically, you pass through this
worm.
This, otherworldly worm. It's a literal wormhole, but it's just a worm.
Like Star Wars.
Yeah, and you go on one side and come out the other.
If you've ever played StarCraft 2, it reminds me of Nexus worms from the Zerg. I don't know if any of you have played StarCraft, though.
This is an AoE 2 household.
I've played a lot of AoE. I haven't played StarCraft.
I'm not good at RTSs.
Okay. So we could just go hang out with this guy.
Yeah.
I think it would be funny to try and figure out what this word is. But I'm guessing Barzillai did not write it down anywhere.
No. He did not. Looking over his stuff, and I mean, what did you guys do with his body? Yeah, so like, you're like, oh yeah. I guess we could check Barzillai again. You like go over to like one of the side rooms here, and his body's just there. It's been rotting for like a week.
Darn.
It smells pretty bad.
It's not great. It's probably a sin, but we'll take care of that in the next 3 to 5 business days.
Yeah, he's just kind of like percolating. You're like high level characters. His like skull is intact.
Oh, speak with dead. Yeah, let's ask him, I guess. Yeah. Hey, Barzillai, what's up, bro?
Sure. He has to make a will save, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Your alignment's not lawful good, is it?
It is. Unfortunately not. DC 18.
I'll just roll the C20. 4. So, what bonuses does he get from being a corpse?
Base plus... So his level plus his wisdom.
I think he succeeds then.
Oh my god.
But
he is an Inquisitor.
Yeah, why don't you look up the spell and I'll look up Barzillai. Because there's stuff based off their alignment. Yeah, his will save is very, very high.
Yeah, will negates. He does not get any bonuses. But he can attempt to bluff me.
Okay. Yeah, he doesn't get any bonuses. Does it elaborate on that? What sort of bonuses does he not get?
I'll copy and paste.
Okay. Because his will is very high, but he doesn't have his headband, so it's 2 lower. And he doesn't have his cloak, so it's 4 lower. So, to resist a spell as if it were alive. Yada, yada, yada. Or attempt to deceive you. Can I answer any questions? I think I have to look up Inquisitors real quick to see what their base save is. I think his stat block might be with him giving himself a bonus.
With like a Bane or something, or a Judgment.
Yeah. Because his base stat is going to be +5. So that gives me a 9, and then it's really just what is his save. And I don't know if it's that high. Oh, yeah. So, yeah. Give me a sense motive check, since you don't know if he's succeeded or not. We'll keep the mystery
Barzillai,
alive.
my man. It is a pleasure to speak with you on such terms. How do you feel about telling us this word with this Odexidai guy, you know? I heard you had a special contract that had some special words behind it. I want to understand those words. What's the words?
I feel nothing anymore.
Yeah.
What is your second question? The first thing you asked him was, how do you feel about this? So he'll just stop you as you're talking and answer that.
Fair. What is the word to use the Kintargo contract? To unveil the Kintargo contract?
It is a nonsense word. And he will tell you a word. Un momento, sir. He will tell you the word Casnum. Casnum.
I'll grab the Kintargo contract. Casnum?
Oh, you say Casnum.
With a sense motive 30, do I think he's telling the truth? How about before I jump ahead of myself?
I mean, what reason does he have to lie?
That's a good point.
You see some of the words on the contract shift and some of the paragraphs change around, and you think that, like, there's now different or more revealed information, as if there'd been, like, a secret page spell cast on this, concealing some stuff.
Thank you.
But it's still very dense and legalese and...
Still beyond me, but if I give it to someone now, they might make some sense of it.
Correct.
Okay. How'd you become that Stormcloud?
I did not. What is your fourth question?
Ooh, Sarah, can I ask him a question?
What you got?
I wanted to ask him about a recipe for spaghetti.
I do not have a recipe for spaghetti. What is your fifth question?
I fucking hate you, Cobra.
What recipes do you have?
Oh no!
I am at least interested in this sponge cake recipe.
Yeah, he will, I recall the recipe for soup.
What kind of
3 parts rabbit. He'll just begin rattling off a bunch of ingredients for, like, some childhood stew that he remembers his housekeeper making. And as he finishes, he'll be like, it was good. And then, was that 5 questions or 6?
Yeah, that was 5.
I think you get 2 per caster level, right? What is your final question?
You keep coming back to spaghetti.
Fantastic.
Did we have any other current mysteries?
Probably. He'll collapse.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Great work. Okay, so we have Casno. We can start doing some linguistics check on this page.
Yes. To investigate the Kintargo contract, you would need to make knowledge geography, knowledge local, or knowledge nobility checks, as it is detailing Kintargo. And this would be that thing that'll take multiple days. It has hit points. You make skill checks to attack the hit points.
You said what checks?
Knowledge geography, local, or nobility.
Team, that is all y'all. I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Thank God, sis.
So, before you begin, a check will represent 8 hours of work. So this is a combat fought over days.
So we can either do this ourselves, or we can go to this devil and have him read it to us.
We've had some pretty close calls with combat recently. I think reading might be safer for once.
But you do know the password.
Chasm.
Which would take us straight to his office.
So what does chasm mean?
It is a
Do I know what
nonsense
language
word.
it is?
It is. It's not. It's a made up word.
It's just made up. You made up.
Make an intelligence check. Anyone can who looks at it. 15, sure. Anyone else? 13, all right.
Tommy has a positive.
We're gonna have like a buddy have like a breakthrough moment here with his just raw. Hell yeah.
Oh my
Hell
god,
yeah.
buddy.
Buddy,
Hell yeah.
so like you're like Chasm. I know it reveals the text on this, but I don't know if it would get us past the devils. And Buddy will be like, "That's an anagram for unmask," and then he'll point at the handout where it says unmask. Use the word I gave you to unmask the copy of the Kintargo Contract. My staff will recognize it as my guarantee of your safe passage.
So we just show the actual contract, walk on through. Which is kind of funny. It's also hilarious that a devil just
Word that you just tell the
unmask.
devils the word.
we tell him chasm.
Yep. But yes, you can in fact investigate this thing. Maybe you spend a day looking at it.
Yeah.
You get a 33. Roll a d8. Cool. You begin making progress. You do not reveal any conditions yet. Basically, their hit points is known as knowledge points, and I think a successful check, depending on how successful it is, you roll like a d6, a d8, or a d10. Am I remembering this correctly, Garm?
It is based on how many ranks you have in the
How many
ability.
How many ranks do you have in knowledge local? I think it might be a d10.
Like
then.
10.
Okay,
D10.
so roll a d10 instead.
D10 plus intelligence.
Plus intelligence is +3, so 6.
So you do 6 damage to this thing. It is still undiscovered.
Guys, this is hard.
Does anyone else have geography? And I doubt we have no. Oh my god! If I would have taken that owlbear girl in here, she would have known everything.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. She has all of these. What a fumble.
Whatever happened to the owlbear girl?
I assume she's now a region of some small district here in Kintargo.
That's a great question.
Should ask Barzillai that.
Well, anyway. Another day passes. Yeah, you finished the paperwork on your house. It's gonna be an escrow. They want a closing of like 30 days to, move out and stuff.
Guys, this is hard. Do we want to keep I can keep going at it, or we can go kill stuff.
Or we can go get a scroll of plane shift and go to hell.
You can if you would like.
Shoot and kill stuff.
It seems like this amulet just takes you there.
Yeah, but having a way out, I think, is what he means.
Probably a good idea.
You have the back door out.
I would like an emergency exit if at all possible.
No. Yeah, I mean, so in the day while Sezzix is doing this and you're thinking, okay, well, maybe we'll have to go to hell. You can go out and get a scroll plane shift. Pick one up from the
Sounds
local
good.
scroll vendor.
Sounds good.
I think you can also prepare it for what it's worth.
I'll probably do both.
But yes. Seems like we are indecisive as always.
I'm only good at going to hell, so
Uh,
that's my vote.
I have one vote for hell.
Going to hell.
I'm sharpening my scythe right now to go to hell.
Yes,
I vote
you're just
hell.
like cutting rocks in half trying to sharpen your scythe, but you have like a +3 now, right?
No, it's a +5.
Yeah, you're just like just sharpening like every metal you come across. You get like diamond sticks and you're just like sharpening, you're like cutting parts of the diamond off with it. Like, yeah.
So, question to you. I'm out buying a scroll of flame shift. Everyone else is getting their weapons together. Are we really indecisive, or are we just like all trying to not say let's just go to hell and fight?
We're all trying to just not say let's go to hell.
Very
Yeah,
good.
okay.
So you put this nerd stuff away. You're not even making skill checks anymore. That's not
No.
why change now? Sure. That's fine. That's okay. I'm not.
We were trying to be retired good boys, but
Yeah.
it's like, when you come back from Afghanistan and then you join a private military contracting company. You just can't get out of it,
It's always here.
That took a turn I wasn't expecting.
I mean, private military contractors are a big thing in the U.S.
I know, I just wasn't expecting Afghanistan.
So the next day, perhaps you prepare more like 9 repairing the city spells.
Yeah.
Prepare like your usual retinue of like combat and whatnot. Where are you gonna be where you use this talisman?
We should probably be out of the city, right? Not like get other people sucked into hell.
That's smart.
fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I was about to say downtown.
I was also going to say in our basement. I was like, let's go, where we know we'll be safe.
I was gonna say let's show off to the townsfolk. We could just go out to Tommy's farm.
Yeah, Tommy, your farm's closing. Can we just go use their shed real quick?
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's your farm too. It's my present. This is where we retire.
This is a retirement farm.
So you guys head out of town a little bit. Maybe a couple of your team, your old adventuring people are out there. The Tengus are there. They've chopped down some trees on some like public land, and they're making like a little birdhouse for themselves. It's like a regular house, but it's just like up in a tree. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. Leaning hard into that.
Can I get
trope.
rested?
Sure. My gift to you. You rest, and you decide to activate this talisman. You conjure the magic out of it. The air before you ripples, then seems to tear open as what appears to be an immense hellhound's face chews through reality before opening its jaws wide, revealing a 10-foot diameter portal that leads to ... Here's this picture. It's like that, except you're in a field. That's just there. It'll be making that noise. There's maybe little bits of grass are getting sucked into it. You're able to not be just pulled into it.
Hi, GINGOROX.
It just continues to make that noise.
Oh, who's a good puppy? Who's a good worm?
Sure.
Alrighty. Well, Tengu sisters, it's always a pleasure. I'm sure you'll be wonderful neighbors when we get back. Alrighty, kids. I'll cast Resist Energy Fire on us.
Okay. Anything else?
Don't be scared. I extend a magic vestment on myself.
Yeah, you can cast some sort of spells. Seems important.
And
I'll apply Oil of Silence to my gun, not that it'll matter.
Sure, you do some small amount of buff spells, you steal yourselves, and you head into the gateway. You step into it, there'll be like a lot of yellow and red fire kind of like effect, and it passes over you harmlessly, whether it's from the resistance or maybe it's just some visual thing, you're not sure. And this din and the noise will get louder and louder and louder and more distracting. And then it'll stop. And you'll find yourselves standing somewhere else. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. Let me throw a mask on here. I think. Perfect. Just do this action. You find yourselves inside an office. Oh gosh.
Oh, this map is gigantic. Holy shit.
It is, and I've accidentally... Aha, there we go. I'd like blinded myself with it. Oh no. Was it control to put this back? Alright. You don't see that, fools. Not today.
of course not.
That is the mouth. Boop. Here's some things for you. Sezzix, just a rat. Perfect. The snarling face of an immense canine looms along one wall of this room, its jaws opening to reveal a pulsating raw tunnel that coils off into the infinite. That's where you just came out. The rest of the room is strangely mundane in appearance, with wood-paneled walls and a pair of leather sofas facing each other across the room, giving the chamber a sort of waiting room feel. Near the wall opposite the hellmouth sits a simple wooden desk, flickering fires, burn-in lamps hanging from the walls. Oh, there's creatures here. They're just hanging out. They're certainly just barb devils. You know, as they do. One will step forward. Or one will kind of like look up from the paperwork that's there. Maybe one was like reading a small scroll novel. The other just like staring off into space, picking their elongated nails. Stand up and kind of look over you. You've got these billowing angel wings and like a halo and shit. You're like radiating magic. They'll kind of like glower at you. Do you have an appointment, sir?
Here to speak with Odexidai. Chasm. A little piece of paper.
His like, eyes will boggle a moment and he'll be like, right this way, sir. He'll go over and open this door. The other one will stand and like instruct you to follow. Oh, there we go. Boop.
As I speak in Infernal, I'll be really polite to everyone.
Sure. They just lead you around. They lead you into this hallway here, which opens into a much bigger room. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. Yep. There we go. Did that work? Oh, nice. It did. This room here is like a giant pit with some sort of like horrific thing hanging on chains above this. The domed ceiling of this octagonal chamber rises to 25 feet at its apex, from which numerous iron chains suspend a 16-foot tall sculpture of dull black stone and metal. The sculpture appears to be of a fallen angel, its wings twisted, its arms broken, and its feet bound together by metal bands. What appears to be spiked manacles are affixed to the sculpture's torso. The sculpture hangs above the octagonal pit, seething with coiling lengths of flickering hellfire. Iron plaques hang over the two double doors exiting the room. One to the south reads Ratification Room. One to the east reads Inner Office of the Vice-Barrister of Terrestrial Prospects. Give me a token perception check. There's also an ice devil in this room.
We didn't notice the ice devil.
He's just hanging out. Tommy, you hear nothing. This does not match with your vision of hell. This centerpiece does, but the rest of this does not mesh with those visions you've been seeing periodically. And when it gets above a 10, you hear the faint sobs of someone crying in the room to the south. Like, stop. But like through several doors. They'll lead you around this way to this door, not to the door with the screaming. Maybe one of you will like you'll look in that direction or something, and the devil that's leading up the rear will be like, "Ah, yes, we get whiners every now and then. Right this way." The ice devil will just nod at you. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. Leads you down this hallway here. And all the way around this way. There's a nice window, as you get to here. You can see out into, let's call it, infinite hellfire. Just like a sea of lava. Like an ocean of flame. This one will open the door here. It is a large library. Don't worry. There is a secretary here. She is sitting behind a desk. As she almost stands up, she just kind of floats. She doesn't have legs. She has these little wispy tendril things. Super normal stuff. She's also here. This gentleman is not. Boop-a-doop-a-doop. Delete him out. Gotta show her. She, of course, is not hostile. She's just an employee. Yes. So she looks like that picture. However, she is wearing a white long-sleeve button-down blouse and has metal-rimmed glasses. And she has, like, some log books. And as you're led in here, they'll, like, walk you up to, like, this table or whatever. And then they'll leave you in this room and close the doors behind you. You know, I'll be in here somewhere. Wherever you'd like to be. She'll be like, yes? May you identify yourselves and state whether or not you have an appointment?
We do not have an appointment, but,
Chasm.
Chasm was, the directive we were, sharing.
I know nothing of that, but, the Vice-Barrister will be free shortly. Make yourselves comfortable.
Thank you much.
Can I talk to her?
Yeah.
All right. I'll walk up to her and talk to her in Infernal. This is a pretty nice place. I always thought it'd be worse. I'm going to talk like, you're in the inner city and you're just going to talk about how good it is when it's really shitty.
I really thought all the cars were going to be on fire. I'd see more trash can fires.
That's pretty much what I'm going to be doing.
Oh, well, we try to keep things rather orderly down here. That is one of the selling points. Yes, and how are things going for you on the material plane? Still have death, famine, war ravaging the land, people taking advantage of each other, breaking their agreements, lying to you? Yes, things like that? Unfortunate. Unfortunate. Yeah, if you spent more time in hell, things would be a lot simpler.
Can she make a diplomacy check to try to convince me to stay in hell?
Oh my god.
She's certainly not trying to convince you to stay here. She's just being curt with you. She would like you to leave her office as soon as possible. And it becomes apparent that she's like impatient that the Vice-Barrister is not here yet. But you'll chat with her. She is not rude to you. If you like say anything disparaging about hell, she'll be like, that is your opinion. And she'll give like little jibes periodically about like, oh, yes, the material plane, the playground of the gods. Yes, you're all their subjects, are you not? To their whims, do as they say. But don't fight each other, not too much. Not unless we tell you, of course. Yes. I remember playing chess as well. I'm just glad I'm not a pawn anymore. Here he is. The doors will open. And you will see. Boop. This office.
Good kitty.
Pristine white covering carpets much of the stone floor of this spacious room, reaching nearly to the walls. A large desk sits at one end of the room before its large leather chair, its backrest strangely shaped as if to accommodate someone with odd growths or protrusions. A less exotically shaped but equally comfortable looking sofa and 2 smaller chairs can be found near a large black piano in a windowed alcove. The skyline of a diabolical city of iron can be seen through the window. You see, this fellow.
He's sick.
Ah, yes. Thank you, Elizabeth. Thank you for letting them in. I'll call if I need you. Of course. My dog is sleep yipping. Do you hear that?
No.
Oh, was that what that was?
Yeah. Oh my god.
Oh, I heard that one.
It's super cute. Okay. The office now. We got this guy. I'll throw him on the map. I just like putting things on the map because I know you want to fight him.
And we just want to know what's happening as it's about to pop up.
Yes, he's sitting behind his desk. Well. What do I owe the pleasure? You are not Barzillai, nor do I believe are you one of his minions. Yet
Even
you know
better.
the password.
Even better than minions, adversaries. I
So
believe
we-
you may know me best. Or you may know my companions best. The Reaper of Kintargo. Friend of the devils. That guy's just a rat. I'm Caerrat Uriah, the fallen angel of Kintargo.
Kintargo, of course. I have heard of that place. I have done some work researching that. I'm sorry though. Your names I haven't heard before. I'm sure you're very impressive where you're from though.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I digress. We are here mostly for the same reason Barzillai was, and that is we need to understand this contract. I don't get it. My rat friend over here, he's doing his best, but if you can offer your assistance in some way, we would love your help.
Sure, give me a diplomacy check. We're all friends here.
Oh, is this convincing an evil creature to act against its ways?
Sure.
Thank you.
I'll let you use
Can
your
I go
train.
play Devil Went Down to Georgia on the piano?
Yeah, you can go play on the piano if you want to. It's a nice baby grand.
Oh my god.
How well do I play?
It's the ivory on it is exquisite. It's very bone white.
Whose bones are they anyway?
It's a fantastic question. I feel like, so rare to find people of differing viewpoints that are so cordial when it comes to working with me. I do respect that. But of course, let me take a look. With a hand, he'll like conjure a pair of spectacles onto his face, and he'll gesture at the contract, if I may.
Of course, of course.
He'll begin skimming it and be like, "Oh, I'm impressed at your ingenuity at discovering the secret page on here." Tut, tut, tut. He'll kind of review it and be like, "Oh, yes, yes, yes. I remember this. I remember some of these things." Okay. He'll kind of lower his spectacles down off his nose and set them on the counter. And they'll just, like, disappear in a little plume of fire and smoke. And what questions do you have regarding this?
What is it?
Well, this is a subcontract of a larger whole, the Chelish Covenant, which granted House Thrune the support of Hell in policing its empire. The Kintargo Contract in particular concerns the role of governance in Kintargo and its hinterlands under said empire. Other regions of Cheliax have their own contracts, yet the Kintargo Contract is special, because Kintargo and the region I believe you call the Archduchy of Ravenna. Today they were never officially part of Cheliax to start with, and because House Thrune arranged for a hidden clause prior to signing.
So Ravenel isn't actually a part of it, but with this secret contract, they just kind of backdoor it in.
This was very intentional. It was a bit of master stroke in the author, I would say. He'll say with a wink. Of course I was the author. You see, The Kintargo Contract is so worded that House Thrun or its allies, including the Church of Asmodeus, require the consent of the city's acting Lord Mayor to deploy an army into the city or its holdings. Normally, a Lord Mayor in a Chelish city is appointed by the country's ruler, but in the case of this contract, that clause has been revised such that the position is ratified only by a local board of governors. Abigail apparently didn't trust the Church of Asmodeus to honor its end of the bargain, and if it tried to seize control of Thrun, she figured she could slip away to Kintargo, bribe the Board of Governors to ratify her as Lord Mayor, and then deny the Chelish military permission to enter the region. If the military ignored her and invaded anyway, the entire Chelish covenant would be void, and all the devils that they use would be free.
So we could do the same thing.
Just like that, Chelish would be plunged into a second civil war. Abigail certainly would have lost all her influence as the nation's leader, yes, but her immortal soul would have been saved in this case. Unfortunately,
And
the Church in Asmodeus... Yes, unfortunately, the Church in Asmodeus never had intentions of betraying Thrun, so she never had to use this clause, and it slipped into obscurity with her death. Rather disappointing, I must say.
Tragic.
Yes, yes. With her death, my work on this contract has been consigned to insignificance. As the author of the Kintargo Contract, I do remain eager to see it play out, eventually. Until it does, the cunning skill with which I sculpted the contract's words will remain unappreciated.
So by us setting up a de facto governance, we could do, same thing.
I suppose if you did make use of this clause, you could build both my reputation as its crafter of fine contracts and liberate your people and let them live free, happy lives, whatever. Win-win, as they say.
Beautiful work.
But it can't be a win-win-win because devils can't win in the scenario where we win. You know what I'm saying?
I don't, and I think that's why you're not in charge of talking, right?
I'll just quietly go back to fiddling with my thumb sitting in the chair.
Damn.
I do apologize. I have many, many people very much like you. Well, not people, devils, really. I have many people just like you that work here in my offices, and they are all very valuable members of my team. I use them for all sorts of things. When it comes to negotiating the finer points of a contract, though they're not involved. And I do respect, I'm sure you've slain many of my kin with that blade, and I wish you the best in all your endeavors to plunge your blade into the very heart of hell and liberate the world and be free and all that. That's totally fine. My job here as Vice-Barrister is merely to ensure that contract law is followed explicitly.
Well, I can appreciate that sentiment. I'm sure Tommy can appreciate the sentiment of him wanting to kill all of your associates. Yeah. So how do we put this into effect? What do we need to do?
Well, you need to get the Board of Governors to ratify the Lord Mayor.
Didn't we do that, accidentally a couple days ago? Or did she just take the spot?
He'll kind of shrug. He's like, I don't know.
No, I'm asking our team. Have we done that? I don't remember.
No, she just kind of was elected by the people. You don't even know what a Board of Governors is. Kintargo doesn't have one of those.
So we have to establish a Board of Governors. Okay, how do we have a Board of Governors?
Why don't we just become the Board of Governors?
That's my current plan.
Oh, you don't... The Board of Governors is defunct. Oh, that may prove to be a bit difficult. You see, the Board of Governors is to consist of 5 people from established Kintargan family lines. Several are detailed here. He'll gesture at some dense part of the contract, and you'll see a bunch of proper names next to each other, and you recognize a couple of them. The families themselves were not included in the Kintargo contract itself, save for the sake of language clarity. And the fact that your Silver City abandoned the tradition after Abigail's death does not surprise me, nor does it impact the legal standing of the contract. Since you're here and have asked so nicely, the family names are Delrange, Mayhart, Stolstein, Tansen, and Irvis. Hopefully you'll be able to find descendants of all 5 lines, since if any of these lines have died without a new line being ratified in, I'm afraid you're out of luck without having Chelish's current queen issue an official addendum to the contract, which is something I don't see her doing.
Yeah, probably not.
But once you have your board of governors established, it should be relatively easy. Assuming a properly ratified Lord Mayor does not wish to grant Cheliax permission for its military to enter the city, they cannot take direct action without voiding the entire covenant. And if that were to happen, House Thrun would lose Hell's support, and Chelish enemies would descend upon the nation like vultures on a ripe corpse. An independent Kintargo is a much lesser pain to Cheliax than that, I should say, and they would certainly not send their military into the city for fear of such a result. And of course, Kintargo is inside Ravenel. You'd be protecting the whole region. As long as the people of the area accept the Lord Mayor of Kintargo as their regional representative, or have an extant alliance with Kintargo, then their lands should be covered by this contract as well. It's subclause 7F, and he'll gesture at some more paragraphs.
All right. So we get to go find these 5 guys, save the town. Permanently.
Yeah.
Unless
and I
somehow
get
Thrun
famous.
explodes.
Well, more famous, of course. Perhaps I'll be a barrister. High barrister? Assistant vice. I'll just be mumbling to himself. Yes, of course, I explained all this to Barzillai before. I don't believe you are on speaking terms.
I'm actually...
He's not on...
I imagine more murdering terms, and he'll gesture at Tommy.
Yeah, actually.
Wait, was I the one who killed him? I thought it was Buddy that killed him.
Because you're the one that has a giant fucking...
You all
right
killed him.
now.
Why not? It was a team effort.
Kind of
Does
want
it
to
count as my kill if it's a Blessing of Fervor attack?
Yes. That's all your damage. I have Boots of Speed now, though, so I'm going to be taking AC.
Same.
Big.
Well, of course. Well, is there anything else I can assist you with?
Um,
I will say, this is a much more direct meeting than the one I had with Barzillai. Rambled on and on and on.
yeah, he kind of did that a lot. He really liked writing. Really bad at it. How much do you know about Barzillai's contract with, like, other people?
Ah. You found another contract of his. Perhaps one between him and Mephistopheles, I suppose.
Just maybe, yeah.
I do love Mephistopheles' work, of course. He's the architect of all contracts, but they lack the level of cleverness that I'm hoping to deliver here. Yes. He'll kind of ponder for a moment and be like, I suppose I could share that information with you. Though most things here, we like making deals. We are devils, of course. It is in my nature. I assume you arrived here via the Hellmouth. Is that correct?
Maybe.
Yes,
Maybe
well,
just walked right on through it.
I would like to recover that amulet from you if possible. Perhaps in exchange for this information.
But what if we need to come have another meeting?
I assume you have all the information you need, unless you'd like to scribe a new contract, and he'll, like, conjure a new blank scroll, and, like, a quill will appear in his hand.
No, that's not my gig. I appreciate the offer, though.
We already have a contract with Devils. Buddy made it.
Oh, did you? He'll, like, perk up.
Yeah. We're friends now.
Fantastic! Wait. Buddy. Ah, yes, I've heard of this contract. Well done. Yes, I believe you got the better end of that stick. He'll give you a wink.
Oh, thank you. I don't even know what the contract is.
You just signed a piece of paper. It's fine.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you don't want to trade that information for the necklace or whatever, you like make a diplomacy check to try and just convince him to give it to you. You know, your
Come
interests
on,
are aligning. You're what's good
You're
for...
working with
what's
me,
good for
I'm working with you.
Yeah, sure. He would like that.
Oh,
necklace.
Okay, we work with each other.
Gosh.
He'll kind of sigh and be like, very well. Very well. I must say, it is rather interesting. And what is the use of knowing a secret if you don't share it?
Especially when you're going to get so much more famous off sharing the secret.
Though this is not my work. You see, a typical human fears mortality. They don't want to die. However, Barzillai secured a method with the aid of Mephistopheles for becoming what is known as a genius loci upon his death. As part of the ritual's requirements, he was to have lived out a life in a region to which he has bound his soul, in this case Kintargo and probably Ravenna. I suspect that his early exit from his mortar shell has put significant kink in his plans for immortality. I had hoped for a time would come where he would need to exercise the loophole from the Kintargo Contract, but truth be told, it matters not to me if he or another Lord Mayor takes this step. The end results will be the same. So yes, I don't believe you've seen the last of Barzillai. He's likely confined somewhere within Mephistopheles' realm, and he'll gesture down like at the floor, on a lower layer of hell, licking his ephemeral wounds, perhaps worming his way into another deal, some other way to come back. You can make a knowledge planes check, as he said, genius loci. You have no idea what that is.
Is that a genie?
No, think less person and more landscape.
Is that why he became a cloud?
He manifested as a cloud. Interesting. Perhaps he already is a genius loci. Curious.
Hey, listen, we can trade information. You know what it is. I can tell you what he did. That man poured some acid down.
I'll hear about it at some point.
That's fair.
What would it cost to end Barzillai here and now permanently?
Just jump 3 floors down or whatever, punch him in the head?
He'll be like, do you have the contract?
I do not have a contract. What if we made a deal?
You do have the contract.
I have it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you show him the contract, he'll give it a look-see.
I mean, I'm in favor of showing him the contract.
I mean, we could just nip this in the bud right now while we're in hell. I mean,
if you present him this infernal contract from Mephistopheles, he'll begin reading over it. He'll invite you to sit down and wait. He'll spend like an hour or so deciphering it. At one point, he'll call in Elizabeth with like some refreshments for you. The door will open. Those of you who get like maybe above a 20 perception can still hear the screaming even here of whoever that is being tortured far off to the south. Just kind of like a listless moaning, just like he like won't look up from it, if any of you notice or whatever. But yeah, after like maybe an hour or two, he finishes reading and he'll set down his glasses. They'll disappear again into like a plume of smoke and ash, and he'll be like, incredible. Truly the work of a master. My Lord Mephistopheles, when he plays hard. But yes, this is a heart harvest contract. This unique contract grants 2 significant boons to the contracted mortal, Barzillai. First, it guarantees that Mephistopheles will provide him with extracting details on how to perform an occult ritual to prepare his soul for the transformation into a genius loci. Secondly, the contract grants Barzillai the ability to survive without his heart, granting him a heartless quality, which I believe is something you encountered. I imagine he was relatively hard to put down.
Yes.
Yep.
Well, there is, of course, a hidden condition, as some of these contracts have. If Barzillai is to die from violence or misadventure before passing on from natural causes at the end of his natural lifespan, his soul and all the souls of those who served him directly in life are forfeit to Mephistopheles. But such a doom will only delay his eventual transformation into a genius loci. Though I assure you, him and all of his followers that you have slain are all being tortured by Mephistopheles right now. So you have that going for you.
Which is
I'll
not
pump my
great.
arms.
There is a termination clause. If his heart is returned to his body while he lives, the contract ends. Unfortunately, not possible. On the other hand, if his body is returned to his new tormented hell form, the one that exists in Cana currently, his death and rebirth in hell will forever be prevented. So if you are to take his hell, venture into Cana, perhaps treat with my master, the master of masters, Mephistopheles, and encounter Barzillai, put his heart into his chest, and then slay him, he'll be gone forever. And your Ravenel and Kintargo will be safe from any of his ill machinations. Oh, there is a little note here that says Book 6. Interesting. I don't quite know what that notation means. But yes.
So we have two things. We have Cheliax trying to come and kill us, and then we have Barzillai literally living in the fucking trees attacking us. And so this book is let's get Cheliax off our ass. Next book is let's get Barzillai off our ass.
There you go. So that's kind of the hook. And that's, now you can see, like, out of game. That's kind of why sometimes when people run this, they just end it after book 5, and then just remove that little snippet with Barzillai.
Makes sense.
Because that's like a whole...
Because you can clean it up pretty easy.
Yeah, you know. If
But this is like high-level stuff, you know? This is that magic Pathfinder.
Yeah. But yes. Very, very impressive work. Been doing this thousands of years. Still have so much to learn. He just kind of is like lost in musing for a moment. Well,
It was a pleasure.
can I offer you a means back home?
What does it cost?
The amulet?
Interesting.
I think we could find our own way home.
Ah, but of course. He'll like look at his non-existent watch, and he'll be like, "Alas, I believe the Hellmouth is closed." And he'll gesture at the amulet, and that only opens a portal from the material plane to here.
That is a good point. Well, an absolute pleasure doing business with
But
you.
of course.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you would please.
I'll hold hands.
Yeah. As you begin, the incantation to cast plane shift would be like, interesting choice. You know that can put you hundreds of miles off target.
You can. It's tough.
I don't skip leg day.
But he'll be like, you can't blame a devil for trying. Good luck on your venture.
Great heart.
Yeah.
Great heart.
My note for this
It's
character.
the old plane shifted to word of recall. It's 1-2 combo.
Here it is. Oxidai himself can cast plane shift to send the PCs back to the original plane. However, the fact the spell is inaccurate could deposit you in far-flung locations such as Varizia or Multhune. Not to mention the locales in the Chalish Heartlands, which makes it a risky proposition. Oxidai offers another option, though. He can craft a brief contract where you give him the amulet, and he'll send you back exactly where you want to go.
What an awful trade.
He's a good dude. What do you mean an awful trade? He's a good guy. He just wants to send you off.
He just doesn't want us
doing
going
his
back
thing.
to kill everyone in this fucking place.
Yeah. Sure. You guys leave. The moans that you hear will like fade
Fair, awesome.
from your memory.
The nicest devil we've seen so far.
He's a dope guy. He's just hanging out. But yeah, with that, that's probably a good stopping point. You can return to town. The next section is going to be... I'm sorry, you don't return to town. You cast Blade Shift. Let's look up that spell. Let's see exactly how far off target you get.
Aware.
5d100 from intended destination.
Go and roll 5 D100s. Why don't each one of you roll one, and then I'll roll one.
A D100?
Yep. So you right-click the D10, and then you say percentage.
Yeah.
Then we add all these together.
I got 99 problems.
I got 69. All
All right,
let's go. I win.
That's the fun number.
So let's see. 25 and 50 is 75. 75 and 74 is like 150, 250, and 70. So you're like 330 miles off target. Let's go ahead and pull up an old map-a-rooney here. Someone roll me a D10. Garm, why don't you roll me, sorry, D8, please. D8.
Well,
Not matter.
And I need it to have a legend. Perfect. This one has a legend. 4. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. So south. So you're 300 miles to the south. Question is...
Is that in the ocean?
I think we're in the water.
I think you might be...
Oh, I'm gonna drown! Wait, do I bring a swimming? Oh my god. I think I got ring.
We have communal airwalk.
You'll be fine.
Fine.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be fine. I'm just trying to find... There's like a good map of the inner sea online that has a scale on it.
I have ring of swimming. We're good.
Great news. I memorized 2 heals instead of a word of recall, too.
I have ring of swimming. I won't drown.
I have a potion of
Good
water.
golly. Well, I want to see how thick this place is.
We're gonna have to fight a shark, aren't we? Hopefully you have freedom to
You
move.
guys are. I can't do shit underwater right now. Wait, yes, I can. I have cyclotic now. Shit.
All right, so scrolling on down here. 240 miles is the length of my finger on this map. And you guys were in Cheliax, but you were all the way in Kintargo. Boom, you're in the middle of the Barrowwood. Cheliax is about 500 miles thick there. So, we'll see percentage-wise how close you were to being due south. 62, so you're like 62% of the way to being due south. Yeah, you'll be like in the Barrowwood somewhere. Let's just, let's go Wikipedia. Barrowwood. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. You don't know where you are. You're in the middle of a forest. Inhabitants.
Nice.
No civilized folk live within the woods. Perfect. Sure.
So
Let's do a random encounter. Let's roll some percentiles.
I'll roll a percentile.
Okay. We'll do something interesting on every, like, 25, 50, 75, 100. 55? All right, you can have something interested. Sure. You find yourself in the middle of a forest. You know, you left in the morning. You're on the same, like, longitude, latitude, more or less. It's probably like 10 o'clock or something. Like, it's nice out. You're in some old growth forest. You don't know where you are, north, south, east, or west. You want to make knowledge geography check?
Yes.
You, like, you find the sun and, like, some shadows and try to figure out how, like...
I don't have geography.
Cool.
Can I do survival?
Sure. Make a survival check. You know where north, south, east, and west are. What direction would you like to head? You do not know.
East.
Sure. You begin heading east out of this forest. You travel for this many hours. You travel for about an hour. And you encounter Evans. Oh boy. You encounter a small elvish boy. He is, fishing into a creek. He's got like a very simple like line tied to his finger. He's there kind of like Tom Sawyer style, just like half asleep, just like fishing with it tied around his finger. And, he'll hear a branch snap or something, and he'll look over in your direction, and he'll be very surprised and terrified.
Hey, what's up?
He'll like hop up and begin sprinting away into like the brush, trying to run away and hide.
I'm going to click my boots of haste and chase him.
You easily overcome this 12-year-old elvish boy.
Okay. Where are you going, young man?
Do you like put a hand on him, or do you just like intercept him?
Right in front. I don't touch him. He's the strange child. You don't touch strange children.
You just like run right in front of him. Probably you have to expend like 2 or 3 rounds of haste. He'll like take a right, and then you'll just like be in front of him again. He'll like run again. He'll be in front of him. He'll like be breathless or whatever. The fishing line will like have like a small carp on it flopping around, like on the ground there, or on the forest floor. Do you speak Elvish?
I don't.
Yeah, you address him in common. He'll begin sweating, and he'll say some words in Elvish to you. What were the rest of you doing as your companion was chasing this kid around?
I was just casually walking.
Sure.
Towards the guy.
Yeah.
I'll let Tommy catch him before I start moving seriously.
Yeah, the kid
I'll be
was
the
kid was like
calling
lying on a
out
blanket
Melvin.
and like had like a little picnic basket there that he's.
I'll be
abandoned.
calling out Melvin. Hey, I'm sorry, we're just lost, just trying to find anything.
You can certainly hear that he's speaking Elvish, and as you get closer, he seems to be speaking like the equivalent of like Elizabethan English. So
Like old Elvish.
So you're saying like, hey, hold up, we're friendly. And he's like, Doth, why hast thou intercepted me? I merely wish to return to my friends, ya? It's like, there's like speaking like weird Shakespearean Elvish. Like very outdated.
I'm sorry, where'd you learn that? Is there an Elvish settlement around here? Where are we?
Be like, you speak so strange. He'll tell you that he's like, we're in the forest of the Green Mothers.
Don't all forests belong to the Green Mother?
He like speaks about the forest. He like it has a name that you don't know. It doesn't like track with anything on a map that you could think of.
Are there other elves around here, little guy?
He'll like his eyes will look around and be like, I'm not supposed to say to outsiders.
What if I offer you some food?
You all can make perception checks.
Who's here trying to stab us while we're talking to this not a child?
2 and a 1. Yeah, those of you above a 30, you hear like a branch snap behind you. And you look, and there's nothing except plants.
I'll turn with my gun pointed.
Yeah. You see that like the trees seem to be moving.
I'll shoot one.
Please don't shoot the trees. Please don't shoot the trees.
Yeah. Both of you roll initiative to see if your companion stops you from shooting a tree.
The person with,
Yeah.
I think you might still beat me.
What's your initiative
plus
bonus?
18 on initiative.
Yeah. You like fire the shot as Sirt's like, no. Boom! Your gun goes off. There's an explosion. The kid's eyes go wide. He like grabs his ears from the noise as the beautiful tranquility of this old forest is shattered. Your projectile will fly out and it will hit this like oak tree, one of the limbs of which was just kind of moving irregularly, and you'll blast a chunk out of it. There'll be like a spray of sap, and like every tree will start moving. Like,
Why didn't you tell me that sooner, Sierra?
like you're in the middle of a dense forest, and like every tree that you can see starts moving, and its roots start coming up out of the ground, and its branches come down, and the bark reveals like this druidic face, and you seem to be surrounded by like 50 treants.
God damn it.
Damn it.
We can roll initiative if you'd like.
Yeah.
I don't really want to populate a map with all these things, but yeah. The boy drops to the ground and starts crying. What do you guys do on this turn? The trees like start maybe moving towards you. Their roots will start wrapping around the earth and retrieving these large chunks of rock, and they'll be like, start throwing them in your direction, the ones that are further off. What do you guys want to do? Seerett, fix it. You can plane shift again.
I'll be plane shifting to Elysium.
Nope.
I'll like point my weapon up and say, "Oh, I'm sorry. We just came from hell. I got scared."
Sure.
I
In common?
Yeah, pretty much.
Perfect.
Does anyone speak Druid?
So you like hold up your weapon like, oh fuck! Druidic is the secret language spoken only by druids.
We're outside. Why would you shoot the trees? That's who's outside.
Seerett, what would you like to do? Things seem to be dire.
I don't want to take this guy to Elysium because he might shoot one of the trees at Elysium. God damn it!
You just told me not to shoot trees. I'll be more careful.
Oh my god. We still have the Hellmouth talisman. We could go back to hell.
And that kid with
I agree with this plan. Back to hell we go.
All right, Odex and I, we'll take your deal. Here's the talisman.
Oh my god, I hate all of you so much. We just had to sleep for 8 hours and I could have saved a spell. Oh.
Oh my gosh.
You should have rolled higher on initiative, Garm.
That's my fault, you're right.
Jesus Christ.
That is my fault. Yeah, I will just burn the scroll of plane shift. We will go to Elysium. I'm not doing this. I hate Sezzix. Bad. I'll make him sit. I'll like take his gun away and I'll take his gloves of storing with the gun away.
He's in timeout.
Does that beat your combat maneuver defense of taking your gun from you?
No, I'm taking it. Like I'm the one going and doing it. Like it's embarrassing because I do it. You know. Like,
oh my god.
Sure.
You get this back when we leave Elysium.
Okay,
or...
We'll unload it, but you're not taking the gun from me.
I don't think you could stop me from taking the gun.
I don't know the topography of Elysium well enough. We'll say high, you are close to like a city. Low, you're in the wildlands. A 22, you find yourself in a different forest. There's like, Fae and shit though. Yeah, you guys can hang out here. You only ever have one random encounter between destinations. That's literally how it works. There couldn't possibly be a second one.
It's impossible.
You can rest up.
The experience track doesn't expect it.
You can rest up and prepare plane shift and a word of recall for the next day. Yeah.
Sezzix is reunited with his ammunition.
So that was this is all from this one line. It is believed the Barrowwood, you're in the Barrowwood, is the subject of a wide variety of myths and rumors. It is believed a small elvish settlement and a druid enclave exists within its depths. That's all I had. He was just like a kid who lived in the city. And then I was like, man, if I was an 11th level druid, which they have to be like within CR of you, I would probably just awaken a treant every day. And treants can awaken treants, so like why would you not just have all of them as treants?
This entire fucking forest,
Yeah. Or like this section of it. Why would they not just all be trees? You
can have like a couple acreages.
Yeah, just like an orchard. So yeah, we'll end there for the day with you guys circuitously eventually returning back. Garm, You're so dumb.
Hey, what's up?
You have the fucking
Thank you.
ring gate.
It's only 18 inches.
No, but the other one is in your den, right? You guys could have just drank your potions and gone through the ring gate anywhere on the material plane and gone back to. Do you?
I have not invested in that, but
Okay. I thought you guys did.
oh no, mine was a meme. I thought it'd be funny if we did it, but now because the problem is
we will.
That
Yeah,
would have
now
been
we
cheaper
will.
than the scroll of flame.
but the problem is we would leave the ring on the other side, so anyone could follow through with the same strategy.
Right. But you'd leave it like in the compound that Rexus lives in or whatever. Like you'd
But
leave
the
it
other
with your
side.
allies.
So we leave that side there, but what happens when we all step through? We just leave a portal in the enemy
Oh
dungeon.
no, that's true.
But we could like hide it or something. We could like pull a bookshelf over it, and then like leave the dungeon, then like come back in. Yeah, I'm buying a wand of
You'll
reduced
figure it out
prison and
later.
a wand of grease.
You'll figure it out later. Well, we will end there for the day. I don't know when we're playing next. We can chat about it on Discord, but good session. You guys are a ways away from leveling up. The leveling up slows down quite a bit. As now you're in these higher levels. But yeah, good session. It was good to kind of get the rust off, play a little bit, you know. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah.
Real fun.
Very nice.